Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power. As always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. My sister, my father, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, my in-laws, my subscribers, viewers, supporters, my street law soldiers, my family, and all the brothers and sisters who are out there fighting for our liberation and salvation within the black nation. It was, this is kind of like a rush spirit of moment video, and I'm just going to do some flowing. You're going to have to forgive me if I may miss some statements or miss something. So just bear with me, and we're going to get through it together. We're going to be all right. So let's just start here. First of all, I want to give my subscribers, Mark Gipp over there in the Philippines, who's trying to put some things together so we can bridge the gap between the U.S. and over there in the Philippines. He stated that, they welcome us with open arms, but we'll get to that later. And all my subscribers, Gladys Holcutt, Denise Duke, Diane Nelson, and the rest of you brothers and sisters, William Ivory, a lot of you. But let me get down to the meat and potatoes. And Calvin Purnell in Baltimore as well. I want to take my hat off to Taraji P. Henson. Today she made a statement now they got this smear campaign on R. Kelly, and now it's on Chris Brown. Smear campaign where they using bed wenches. As always, they use the black woman, the black bed wench, the hoe, the political prostitutes, the industry hoes, and these talk show sluts. These people that just want to be seen, this Me Too shit, and all this bullshit to smash the heterosexual black man. Now, don't get me wrong. R. Kelly needs to be dealt with. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Chris Brown was allegedly accused. But now, all of a sudden, this white bitch recanted. And now, he's going to sue her. And I hope he burns her motherfucking ass up. But nevertheless, Taraji P. Henson, who made a statement that, you sisters and you crackers sit out there and bash these brothers, but you say nothing about Kevin Spacey, who's a goddamn pedophile, playing with little boys and all this type of shit. He's a fucking freak, sick piece of fuck. And Harvey Weinstein, this motherfucker. See, the whole thing is to send the bed wenches and the hoes, the Wendy Williams, the Oprahs, and all these Me Too and Black Lives Matter hoes and sluts and lesbians over there to crush and smash the heterosexual male. These are hoes that are paid by these crackers to smash their brothers. But you don't see the white bitch do that to the motherfucking white man. You don't see that. Now, when was the last time you heard something about Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Spacey? These two faggot freak motherfuckers. The same thing they did with Nate Parker when he was making Birth of a Nation. The cracker didn't want that movie to be out to talk about the great Reverend Nat Turner, who was the greatest preacher of all time. They didn't want that out so our babies can eat mentally as far as information. So they send the black bed wenches and these sluts and these Me Too movements and these Black Lives fatter, you know, holes over there to crush Nate Parker. And you know that didn't work, but Taraji, now be mindful that you may be blackballed for a minute. They may sit you down for that statement, you know, but you got enough paper stacked, and also you have got down and participated in rituals and shit too. Now you're not you're not innocent in this. You done got down, you know. Your soul is still in the pocket of these goddamn white so-called Jews and Satan. But nevertheless, see, the real you will come out. You know, because all y'all need is a good, strong brother behind you. And you'll rock. But nevertheless, nobody's mentioning Bill Cosby, his condition, how he's doing. See, this is see, you niggas, man. You know, I'm going to get back to that, though. But nevertheless, I'm gonna go and talk about some horrible news today, which brings me to this this brother here, Shakir Stewart. You know, you remember I talked about him the other day about his murder. I'm gonna stop calling this shit suicide. You know, about his murder, and it's always a female. You know, a gold digging hoe that's involved. And see, a lot of them they'll lay down and have babies. When they know, you know, a brother's bankroll is long, they'll lay down and have babies and do all of that. But when they ready to make a move or jump out there, they'll start putting in these orders to get these brothers eliminated. You know, and pay one of these faggot goons, these so-called goons, for some chump change to blow these brothers' brains out and all this type of shit. You know, and see, when you talking about penalties, niggas like that should be really dealt with for pulling the trigger on motherfucking stand-up brothers. You know, so, but nevertheless, let's talk about this brother here, you know, Kevin Barnett. 32 years old. Now, all of a sudden, you know, he's the writer and the co-creator and the co-executive producer of the TV show Rail. Now, I know you all know who Rail is. Lil Rail Howery, who played in the movie Get Out. He was the security guard. You know, this brother here, Kevin Barnett, is the creator and writer of that TV show. It's a Fox TV show. And so, you know, he goes and takes a vacation over in Mexico, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, he pops up dead. You know, and they're talking about they don't know the exact cause. No, you are not going to reveal the exact cause because the brother was murdered, more than likely poisoned. Like I told you all, they have a poison called ricin. It's a odorless, tasteless poison from the castor oil plant that will automatically arrest the heart, choke the heart, and it gives an aneurysm. Sometimes the whole sensation can be so overwhelming it just takes you out on the spot. But nevertheless, you know, this brother was murdered because he was a young writer, 32 years old, and a comedian, and the sky was the limit in terms of his ability and his talent and his genius in terms of writing these scripts. You know, and that's not the only one he wrote. You know, he wrote The Do-Over and The Heartbreak Kid. You know, brother was bad, man. You know, and see, usually when you got these writers of these shows, especially Fox, it's always these motherfucking white wrinkled up, raisin-faced, raisin-eyed motherfucking Jews. You know, Norman Lear, those type of motherfuckers. Dick Wolf. You know, those type of motherfuckers. So when a young brother comes in there, you know, standing up, you know, they don't want that to take place because he has the possibility to be another Bill Cosby in terms of understanding the game as far as the industry is concerned. See, a lot of people are not paying attention. And see, these crackers think 2 steps ahead, and that's why they got rid of them. And he was about to do a movie with David Spade, this white cracker motherfucker. And see, that burns the crack up when a brother writes a script and have the cracker working for him in movie production. See, that's unheard of. And so, you know, this brother was a stand-up brother. You know, and brother Rail, you know, Rail Howry, it is reported that he is overwhelmingly distraught. And I'll tell you why. Because he knows the business. He knows that brother was murdered. But he's out there alone. He's not going to be stupid enough to stand out and jump out there by himself with nobody behind him that's working in the industry. Because those niggas are so scared and so controlled. They'll tell him just to, you know, let it go. Everything will be okay. You know, and if you know this brother's demeanor and what's in his heart, he has a type of personality, just like he did in the movie Get Out. He'll go straighten some shit out if he knows somebody got his back. And this is where the black entertainers need to come in and embrace him and get the information from him and start stomping, black boot stomping these goddamn crackers in the industry. I'm not talking about physically, not yet anyway. But I'm talking about standing up, getting some answers, making some goddamn arrests, investigating some motherfuckers. And he knows. He's not stupid. You see, he wears the ankh. He has the ankh around his neck. He knows what's happening. You know, he's not dumb. You know, the brother is on point. And you see, and I respect him. You know, he has his queen. You know, he didn't get a snow bitch. He didn't get a motherfucking ice monkey. You know, he went and got him a motherfucking queen like he's supposed to. And he's rocking that ankh. But because he understands who the black woman is. It's just that she don't, and I'm not talking about her personally, I'm talking about most of these sisters. They don't know who they are. That's why they're able to be programmed and puppeted by these goddamn devils. You know, but Rail, you got to, you know, this brother was in Mexico on a vacation. And what a better way to take him out. Because he was out of the country. So they want all fingers pointing at Mexico. And that's not, you know, and that's not real. The Mexicans don't even know him over there. So, you know, you know what time it is, brother. But let me tell you, brother, you need to, you know, if you reach out and ask for some help, brother, it's a lot of brothers, including myself, that will walk with you in terms of investigating this shit, getting down to the bottom of it. If they don't want to prosecute them, the crackers, we'll prosecute them. You know, so we want to, you know, give Kevin Barnett, man, a strong black power in Hotep. Brother was strong. Brother was smart. He was sharp. And this was an untimely murder. This was an untimely murder. This brother had a future ahead of him in the industry. He was going to pull a lot of our brothers and sisters in He just, he just wanted to get in the door. Brother had no health problems whatsoever. None. And you can look at him and see he's a clean bill of health. But they'll make up something by tomorrow morning. They will make up something. And I'm going to talk about some so-called suicides or in a homicide. I'm just going to go all the way in. Chris Lighty, another brother, 44 years old, worth $30 million. The co-founder of Violator Records, which he signed Mobb Deep, Ja Rule, 50 Cent, Missy Elliott, LL Cool J, Uncle Murder, Mariah Carey. He was a movie producer as well. And he was also P. Diddy's manager. And it's always one of these sisters that's in the way. That's never satisfied with what a brother of that status may give her. The type of life that he gave this sister. It wasn't enough. It is reported that, she would just create arguments with this brother for no reason at all. Just because she knew where his heart was. If you look at it, you can see this hoe is a manipulator. You can look at her and see. Yeah, she's one of them, what they call themselves a high maintenance hooker. That's what she really is, a hoe. Anytime, rarely, it's only a few sisters that are offered a lifestyle like that will be, overwhelmingly joyful, grateful, and blessed. No, but these gold digging, and I tell you brothers all the time, get you a plain Jane, man. Stop looking for the motherfucking Miss America, Miss Black pageantry, and all this bullshit. They're nothing. Because they spend most of their lives trying to enhance their beauty. And they really don't have any brains. They really don't have any street experience. They really haven't got down on the grind. And so they are expecting, from a brother that he sets it all out. He gives his all. And so, she was, I've studied her. I don't trust her. She's devious, very devious. And people were trying to tell Chris to leave her alone. To leave her alone because she's no good. She's just a hoe. Although she is the mother of his child, that doesn't mean much. That doesn't mean much. See, a lot of them will play like that. A lot of them will lay down and give birth to a child because that's their security. They know where a man's heart at. He wants to be with his son or his daughter. And so they'll play these games. Play the child support game. Go down and tell the cracker that the black nigga is being bad. And go tell the white man on your own motherfucking man, on your man. Chris Lighty was a very, very sharp brother. He was a family man as well. Very, very sharp in producing, movie producing. He worked on a lot of things. And he had some trouble with the IRS. Just $5 million. And the brother was worth 30 at the time of his murder. However, he had way more money than that now, and I'll prove it to you. As you can see, he provided this slut with the best of everything, which wasn't enough. She would argue at him in public in front of other executive producers and the like. Chris Lighty also created one of the most, as you can see, 50 Cent, LL Cool J, they were his artists. 50 Cent really didn't like that at all. Number one, Dr. Dre, Aftermath Records, they were in 50's ear. So 50 began to disrespect Chris Lighty to a great deal. Because Chris Lighty helped him with the Get Rich or Die Trying and tried to really work with 50. Even to the point of making one of the most lucrative deals in history, in black history particularly. With 50 Cent being the stupid nigga that he is and was at the time, even stupider. That's not the correct words. Even more stupid at the time of this merger, this purchase, where he sold his vitamin water to the devil, Coca-Cola, a company whose Coca-Cola has a history and ran by white supremacists and white nationalists. They supported apartheid in South Africa. So the deal was they sold 50 with the help of Chris Lighty, who set the deal up and did the business arrangement for $4.1 billion. 50 Cent got $100 million. Chris Lighty got an undisclosed amount of money. Now, he was supposedly found with a gunshot wound to the head, laying on his back. Now, minutes before he was shot, he was arguing with his wife. Very heated argument. And then just a couple of minutes later, neighbors heard a gunshot. They found Chris Lighty lying on his back with the 9mm pistol laying next to him. Number one, how can that be? If you shoot yourself in the head, you don't know where that pistol is. And it ends up laying right next to you. That's bullshit. And so, Chris Lighty's brother stated that the family is conducting their own personal investigation. They've hired private investigators. His ex-wife couldn't wait to get her hands on the money, and she's running around with some other motherfucker. You see how this shit goes, and this brother is in the ground. All the hard work that he done and tried to provide for a hoe. And this is what he gets. And the lies that his son is going to be told by his mother. But I'm hoping that Chris Lighty's family continue the investigation and get down to the bottom of this. 50 Cent, who you all know who wanted to get out of the deal with Chris Lighty anyway. And so I'll tell you about 50 in a minute. Don Cornelius, the same thing with Don Cornelius. Hosted Soul Train from 1970 to 2005. You know, and Don Cornelius was a brilliant man. But it's the same thing with Don Cornelius. He had an Ice 8 bitch, which was his downfall. You know. Let me find Victoria Chapman, who Don Cornelius married this slut bitch in 2001. In 2009, they were divorced. But in the meantime, Don Cornelius was arrested 2 times fucking with this bitch on domestic violence charges. And one of the things that he said is that he wanted to finalize the divorce from this bitch before he died. And Don Cornelius was worth millions. The host of Soul Train. But the reason he was murdered because Rupert Murdoch and all these motherfuckers hooked up with this bitch because she had a personal relationship with Rupert Murdoch because she tried to persuade Don Cornelius to sell Soul Train to Viacom. And this is the reason why they went back and forth. Because this bitch is no good. And I hate to say it to the brother, but Don, you should never have fucked with the Ice 8. Before his passing, before he was murdered, he did go back to the sister he was married to before, back in 68, I believe, 66. And so this bitch had ties with the Russian mafia as well. And she also had ties with these white Hasidic Jews. And so she was just someone who would fuck Don Cornelius. Now, mind you, Don Cornelius was nearly 80 years old. And so she was just a pain in his ass. She put together the entire plot to have Don Cornelius murdered. That's my view based on my investigation. Now, Don Cornelius was found 4 in the morning, gunshot wound to the head, the gun beside him. Now, he was being told by Smokey Robinson and Stevie Wonder to leave that white bitch alone. But you know, it really, you can't say nothing. You can't tell a man to leave someone alone he's in love with, especially when he's blind. And you can tell she's a slut. Look how this bitch is in public. She was a slut. She was a white slut bitch, a motherfucking ice monkey, snow dog, cave bitch. And this is how they are. All of them are like this. All of them are like this. And may Don Cornelius rest in power. Rest in power, my brother. Nevertheless, you had it rough with this bitch. You can look at her and see she was looking for Mr. Goodbar. And now, this is Tony Cornelius, Don Cornelius' son. Don had two sons, Raymond and Tony. Raymond has never been around, has never wanted any parts of this white bitch when Don was married to her. But Raymond took over the business, and he's a gold digger. He used his father. He had no love for his father. He just wanted his father's money. And used the Don Cornelius Foundation as a smokescreen to not only launder money, but he's doing a lot of crutball shit. You ought to know that because he didn't keep Soul Train. Jam Master Jay. For those young people who don't know who Jam Master Jay is, Jason Mizell from the group Run DMC. He was the one that played the turntables, multi-talented. Had Jam Master Jay Records. He signed 50 Cent Onyx. This is the Run DMC. The group. They were the first black group to be on, the first rap group to ever be on MTV and white television. Wore the Adidas and the leather jackets with the Kango hats. Back in the day, that was the shit. Jam Master Jay didn't talk too much. He was the silent one out of the group. Mixing, and he was vicious on the turntables. Now, all the work and things that he done for the people. Now, he wasn't no angel. You know, he was pumping a lot of coke before he became a DJ, but he slowed down. He didn't completely stop during the time he was with Run DMC. But his hands was in a lot of things, but it didn't call for his death. Once again, he did the Get Rich or Die Trying. And it said that